Anybody have any questions that I can answer just about copy generation, ideas, how to create an environment within your company that is copy-centric? You can just yell, it's okay. Actually, I can't hear you. You have to yell louder. I can't hear you. New copywriters, how do we train them? Well, we have a training program. We encourage, in Money Map, if somebody has never written a package or a financial package or a full package, we're not always really, we would like them to go somewhere else and learn and come to us because it's extremely time consuming. And I have to be honest about that. However, that doesn't mean that we don't have a small cadre of people that we think have talent, and we do something like this. And we start in renewals, right? Renewals are pretty easy to learn. We pay royalties to renewal copywriters. They make a little money, right? And they can get a sense of, if I write this well, I'm gonna make, our renewals writers can make an extra $50,000, $60,000, right? In the course of a year, just from writing renewals that work. And we have renewals going out every single day. This is a daily thing because we're constantly hitting every dollar we can get, and the renewals are like huge. Really close, now that is closely related to track record. So once they get renewals, we'll put them on a product team. So they can start to write more direct, they could be doing editorial sells, they could be doing shorter packages, they could be doing upsells so that they can get their, and we pay royalties through that too, so they can get their feet wet. What I think we did for years was to bring people in and go like, well, I know you're new, we want you to write this package, we'll help you. It's impossible, right? So you have to find somebody with talent, and you have to find somebody that is committed, you have to have a mutual, commitment, but they need a lot of work, and it's extremely time consuming. So yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard. However, it can work. It's a 2-year commitment, we think. So the people we bring on who have not been writing, I mean, we're making a 2-3 year commitment, and we make clear to them that this is a 2 or 3 year commitment because, it's, but there are writers at other organizations at Agora that I think will move, will go places, you could probably approach. Do you train writers yourself?
We try to do a little bit, but it's a challenge.
Well, isn't it ironic? This is your absolute biggest leverage point. And like, trust me, I said, this is the biggest leverage point in how much money you will make, regardless of what marketing techniques you do. If you have a pack, okay, how many people were here when it used to be a direct mail business? Nobody. Is anybody here direct mail? Well, back when this was all direct mail, one package could make an entire company. To give you some idea, when we started Money Map Press, all of the packages that we launched our business on, I wrote. The 3 or 4 packages that launched our company, right? So am I going to be biased when I say I think you should know something about copy because it makes you a lot more self-sufficient if you're a marketer or publisher and you have a little skill with this or you know how to evaluate it. It gives you a sense of independence because, let's face it, it's the number one thing. The second problem today is there are more copywriters than ever in our business. And they all have websites and hey, I got a website. It's really cool. I'm a copywriter. Not many of them have written. So it's tough. It's a problem, And yet, at the same time, it's the number one leverage point that you have in making money. Beyond anything, nothing even compares to it. Any other questions? Oh, go ahead.
So I'm not really sure how to phrase this, but you
Exactly.
I'm curious as to,
This is, yeah, I mean, it exactly does. This is a myth that I'm busting. You really don't need to do that. You know how you do that? You want, well, people say to me, they say, well, I'm supposed to go up and shake their hand, right? Show you I have something in common with you, right? Is that what you're getting at?
well, let's say I agree with you. I'm going to take your word. Don't scratch the itch. But I can only really do that if I can figure out what your secret is, for lack of a better word, of drawing the person into your story right from the beginning. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the $84,000 question. If you can write a lead to answer that, you know, you could have a problem solution package, right? The problem is, and I have the solution, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, it fits within a model. The problem you're having in trading is you don't have the right metrics. You know, you don't have the right this. Oh, I've got something. Let me show it to you. You know. You're going to get a response from that. There's no doubt you're going to get a response from that. And in particular niches, it's going to sell, and you might be happy with that. Are you going to get a breakthrough? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, are you going to, or if you're doing an acquisition package, are you really going to bring new people into our industry who have never been there before? Those are the most valuable customers we have. Can I take someone who's never traded options and make them an options trader? Are they curious enough? That person's worth a lot of money on an LTV basis. But how am I going to do that, right? And if you do it, you know, that's a back end. Okay, so let me put it this way. That is a great back end approach. It's an okay back end approach, meaning I understand you have a problem. It's kind of, you're talking to your own audience. You're speaking to the choir, right? That's fine. And it doesn't hurt to do a back end like that, right? Or maybe you're going to a webinar if you're going to a select list. You understand your list, who you're going to. It's great. Is it going to generate a huge response? You're going to get a response from all the people who like, oh yeah, it's my problem. But what about the people? But for everybody else, it's a polarizing moment. I make you decide whether you want that or not. Well, you want it, but all the other people say, no, I don't have that problem. I don't even know that problem existed. Why would I want it? See, you know, that's the problem you have there. So it depends. Every one of these situations is very specific. Like, who am I going to? Why am I going to? If it's back-end webinar, are you going to a trading list? You know the list. You know, you're doing that. It'll probably work. Is it going to work huge? Probably not.
What you're describing, if I can sum it up, is the ability to pull somebody into your space, get them to stop thinking, and that's how you're grabbing and keeping their attention. Is there an emotion when you're trying to come up with the beginning of
Greed.
that story? Greed?
Yep. It's greed that I understand intuitively. Right. I tell me a story. Show me a thing that is so desirable that I don't know if desirable is a word, desirable, that when I look at it, I go, I just want this. I understand. I get it. It's just naturally there. You know, how many people are working on tech packages right now? Anybody working on a tech package? Anybody? Tech trading, something like that. With tech, you know, if you have to explain how you get rich on tech, you're kind of sunk. Right. Well, there's a little widget inside the iPhone, and it kind of does this, and it kind of does that, and whatever. And I have to explain to you why that's why that's something you might want. You know, you can make that work, but you have to work harder. And I always say, why? If you got to jump over a hurdle up front, why put a hurdle in front of yourself when you don't need to? That kind of makes sense. Nobody's working on 5G? Okay, Adam, you're the guy. The what? Sorry. You know what? I'm selling it online, man. I mean, you go to mikeward.com, you're going to get the grape extract. It's right there. And I got a great deal for you. It's 2 for 1. Not only that. And it will definitely make you, you know, everything. Better looking and smarter. I mean, the two things everybody wants in their life.
State the problem, advocate the problem, state the solution,
No, what I'm saying is this. You know, these techniques work, and they've been around for a long time. And they're, you know, there's a place for it. And especially if, you know, you're working a back-end product, you're going to upsell or cross-sell your back ends, and you're going to do it at a moderate rate. It's not going to explode. It's not going to go crazy. For us, that's never going to be a $20 million back-end package. And we do these too, because like not every package we do can be. So we have to have a stable of these things. We understand. On the front end, right, where look, you guys know the value of acquisitions. I mean, you know, your acquisition is your whole business, right? Without that, it's not growing, it's not going anywhere. I mean, you know, what are 50,000 new subscribers worth? 50,000, 20 million bucks, roughly. You know, 18, 15, 20 million. I mean, do the math on that. It's worth a lot, right? So when you're going into like the acquisition and you're trying to figure that out, you know, you got to have something. You got to have something more than that. I mean, you got to buy into something that's a lot more than just the problem.
So what you're just describing right there, is there any kind of a formula, or are you just saying you just got to assess it?
This is what I'm saying. You're all, at some point, you all should be looking at copy, writing copy, involved with copy. It's your biggest leverage point. That's number one message. When you look at it, how do you evaluate it? What do you look for? I wanted to give you 20, 15, 16, 17 things to look for that are just, you know, like just, some of this should start to become automatic. If, I'm assuming you know the structure of the package, right, already. These are the mistakes that I see. This kind of crazy. I still see this stuff every single day. Like, why are, you know, like, wow, still seeing the same kinds of copy mistakes that really hold people back. And I wanted to give you some tools to say, well, you know, it gives me something to think about here. You know, like, it's not whether it's hypey or not, does it make sense or not? You know, like, we see a lot of copy doesn't even make sense. You just go like, who would believe this? Who would buy this? Who would, you know, do anything with it? Any other questions? No one dares have another question. No one's daring to have another question. I know you have a question. Okay. All right. Well, thank you all. Appreciate it.